Every page of this book is an insult to nature. The trees involved in this printing process should probably sue the publishers for this misuse. I thought I'd seen it all with booktok and stuff, but it turns out there's another interesting corner that we're missing out.
Well, I did it. I read Mating with a Mantis, and I did it for science and for you. This is a story of a woman scientist becomes attracted to mantises. She tries to do a lot with them and realizes it doesn't really work. So she's like getting guys to dress up as mantises, picturing them and watching them and letting them crawl all over her.
What could possibly be so attractive about a mantis that a genius scientist gets attracted to a bug? Girl, did you fall off the stairs and hit your head or something?
Hey. Bitch, you better be joking. Are you okay, Kat?
No, yes, fuck it, I am in love with Nate Jacobs and he's in love with me.
I mean, I get being passionate about bugs and your research, but this is some next level unhingedness. Okay, and what does it mean that the FMC tried to do a lot with it? Like doing what exactly? Isn't it illegal to hurt poor bug? Also, the fact that she lets all the mantises crawl into her body while she tries to find the bliss has to be a sick joke, because this cannot be for real.
At one point she gets into a tub full of them. Oh, it's all very God. Actually, that gave me the shivvies. And luckily, as a scientist of bugs, she has easy access to praying mantises. I think it's illegal to kill them. She talks about how many have died during her sexcapades, so she might need to go to jail. She needs to go to jail for all of that anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. How has this woman been working in the facility for so long? How did nobody check on her? She should be under heavy observation in a special place, not running experiments. Like, just what were you hoping to gain from a bug?
One day at her job, they bring in an enlargement ray, which can enlarge anything that you put in front of it. So she gets one of her mantises late at night, puts them in the enlargement ray, and she's ready to the big mantis. Things go sideways, though, and she ends up turning into a mantis instead of the mantis getting big. So now they're two little mantises together. She's like, well, I guess this will just have to do, because the whole point of this was the mantis, and here I go.
Of course, a very normal response. It's not like anyone would panic and try to fix the mistake.
Blah. Delete the fuck.
You know, this could have been a cute Princess and the Frog situation where they panic, go on an adventure, and try to turn back into humans. But I guess her priority was something else.
Her and the mantis not only do fuck, but they make love. And then the mantis at the end, the male mantis, starts to hint to her like, hey, it's time now for you to rip my head off, because that's how this works when we're done fucking. You rip my head off and eat it. And she is upset by this because she's like, I don't want to do that. I love you.
I don't know how the love part magically came into existence within this 5 minutes time period while they have been doing the wrestling without pants. That woman has a sick mind. Calling it love is a bit criminal here.
My mantis man, I just want to and then move on, but he's like, no, that's not how we do it here in the bug world. So she's like, yeah, you're right, and proceeds to rip his head off and eat it. As his head comes off, he still continues to pump into her. He never stops as his head is no longer there.
So her eternal devotional love that could even make Romeo and Juliet come out of their graves and cry in joy somehow flew out the window. Like, yeah, that could have been a better plot twist to not eat his head. Funny how the rules of the bug kingdom are still applicable, but human logic in human world isn't.
Now, that's very fun for everyone. She's stuck as a mantis. The end, I guess. She gets picked up by a janitor and put into a tank full of male mantises, and that's when the book ends. So we can only assume they're going to walk in tomorrow to about 25 headless mantises in that cage.
And this is exactly what she wanted, by the way. This book started as weird niche adult fiction and ended in full bug mode.
You know, I'm not shaming anyone, but I think we have to draw a line at mantises, where my line is. I have a line, and I think she crossed it.
It's so absurd that it isn't even fantasy anymore. Seems like some sick nature-defying nonsense going on.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
And yes, some people do need to just stop. This is not okay at all. Not every imagination needs to be written down in the name of literature.
Kissing the coronavirus. Dr. Alexa may just be the thirstiest biatch alive. She's been isolated in a lab with other scientists, never sleeping, trying to find a cure for COVID-19. Her boss almost catches her trying to diddle herself with a vial of COVID.
Again, another doctor with weird fascination for their research materials. And again, it's a female character. I wonder why.
I guess we'll never know.
Well, one reason could be that it is the same author who wrote Mating with the Mantis book. Also, I want to point out the character's last name is Ashington Ford, which I find to be at the top of the cringiest names I've come across.
She secretly adds more of the virus strain to their potential cure. Her boss secretly has COVID, so he went ahead and took the cure without sending it to any kind of drug trials. And then he turns into physical manifestation of the COVID-19 virus.
And of course, because science is just a suggestion here, he doesn't die. Instead, he morphs into this buff, green manifestation of a respiratory illness.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
The guy looks like a deflated version of Hulk. Ugh, it's actually giving me a headache. But I gotta say, drinking the cure before testing, bro really took one for the team. But at what cost?
They bang ferociously. When I first started reading, I almost wanted to DNF this story, but it's like 16 pages, so I clearly could not. By the time I pushed through, however, I think I finally got a good feeling of the author's vibe.
I'm trying to visualize the biological mechanics of a romance with a global pandemic, and it's taking a toll on my brain. Is it even consensual if your partner is literally trying to infect your immune system?
No.
You hesitated. You thought about it.
I didn't hesitate because that should have been the question.
I've seen some unhinged stuff, but we've reached a level of niche fetishizing that makes my blood run cold. It's just that bad.
I've never heard so many weird aliases for sexual terms in my entire life. It's actually a little bit brilliant, and I sort of want to turn them into like motivational poster style art.
I'm just gonna leave it here for you guys to see some of the things written in this book. Before that, I want to remind one thing. This author actually lost their job during the COVID pandemic and ended up writing this book through sheer desperation of paying their bills.
I said, damn, bitch.
This is a proof that it doesn't matter how weirdly diabolical your story is. There is a market for you as well. Because this book is actually the first book in the trilogy, and someone said that there's a fourth book of this series somewhere.
I cannot believe my eyes.
Personally, I think it didn't have to be a fully published physical book. Like, it's just wasting papers. But I hope the bills are paid, otherwise I would have been so mad.
So with tongue was an interesting one because there wasn't a lot of tongue used. Surprisingly, it was mostly fingers. The woman saves a local frog from a falcon or something like that. And then to thank her, he turns into a life-size frog and wants to give back. And how does he do that? You guessed it.
The reward for a heroic deed is usually just a nice feeling or maybe some good karma, not a sudden unauthorized expansion of frog anatomy.
Stop it. Get some help.
Girl rescues this little guy from a falcon, and instead of just being a normal thankful creature, he transforms into a life-sized version of himself and decides to give back in the most intrusive way possible.
It's getting weird. I feel really uncomfortable.
Usually, if something turns into a giant human-frog hybrid in your backyard, you run for the nearest heavy object, or maybe run inside your home. I mean, why didn't you think that the frog could be dangerous?
In her garden. And then that's it. It's got those big froggy digits with like the bulbs on the ends. Basically just gets her off with his fingers. And then for a second time, he puts 2 fingers in her backside. She loses it. As soon as she's done, he like starts turning back into a little frog. And she's like, will I ever see you again? And he just gives her a little smile and like hops off into his pond.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, what even was the point of this book? There's no plot or logic. Not even a single ounce of common sense can be found. She saved him, he repaid her by doing the no-pants wrestling match, and then hopped back in the pond. That's all. Again, it really didn't need to be a waste of paper and ink.
Very short, but also very steamy. And if you don't like hearing about this at all, then I think this might be the book for you because this frog is shaft-free.
Chicken jockey.
Aside from everything, I want to point out a few things about the cover art. Why is the frog so jacked? Seriously, look at his muscles. Why not just make him a large frog shape?
Okay, you got me there. But that is not a crime.
They really gave a pond animal a six-pack and traps as if he's been hitting the gym between lily pads. It's an incredibly weird aesthetic choice that just makes the whole thing feel like a fever dream. Also, can we talk about his mouth? Just look at the size of his face compared to hers. He could honestly swallow her entire head in one bite. Like, this is so terrifying. Basically, this is a very niche category of stories that I don't think I can take seriously for once. It's all just some easily consumable nonsense.
I'm out of here.
So let me know what you think about this. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe for more.